Now the holidays are a time that you definitely want to eat lots of cookies and pumpkin pie and tends to put on a little bit more weight than people want to. I'm joined now with Sarah Holmberg, who is a registered dietitian at Phoebe, and she's going to be explaining a few little, I guess, swaps that we can make for our favorite holiday classics to save our waistlines a few inches. Good morning, Sarah. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. So we've got lots of holiday staples here in front of us, both the regular and kind of the light version, I guess. Is that what you'd say?
Yes, I'll talk about some simple ways you can modify your recipes to make them less fat and less sugar.
Okay, so definitely great to have, so you can have maybe a few more cookies or something here or there. All right, so let's start right away. Mashed potatoes. Both of these look pretty much the same, but
the difference is that this first one here is made with whole milk and 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter.
Oh, wow.
So that's the full fat version. And basically, if you switch and you use chicken broth, instead of simmering it in whole milk, instead of adding whole milk, you simmer it in low sodium chicken broth and only add 1 tablespoon of butter, you can save yourself what's equivalent to 3 pats of butter, which is about 12 grams of fat.
Wow.
Per serving.
12 grams of fat per serving.
Exactly.
So just those 2 swaps, that is a lot of fat.
It is a lot of fat, and that adds up over the holidays because you're also eating many other things with your meal.
Sure.
So you want to try to cut corners when you can.
Now these 3 pads of butter here, it's kind of a visual that we have. Again, that is for the single serving?
Exactly, per serving.
Oh my goodness. Don't get seconds with that unless you're going to get these 2 swaps. All right, so again, pumpkin pie, staple. Now this is the one that I was most amazed by. We have a regular traditional pumpkin pie here, and then what you're calling a crustless pumpkin pie.
And I will show how to make this in a little while. Basically, if you take the crust off of your pie and you make a couple other substitutions, such as using Splenda or another sugar substitute instead of real sugar, and if you use egg beaters instead of eggs, you can save a lot. So for an eighth of a pie, for a regular pie, it's around 260 calories, 11 grams of fat.
Ooh, now you don't want to hear that. That's
37 grams of sugar per eighth of a pie. And of course, most people cut it into 6, so it's even more. But if you have the crustless pumpkin pie and do the modifications that I'll talk about later, it's only 70 calories per slice.
Isn't that amazing? That's almost, that's saving what, almost 200 calories?
Exactly. You can even add low-fat whipped cream to make it taste better, and it won't add that many more calories.
Wow.
So it's almost fat-free. It's only 1 gram of fat per slice.
Compared to 11, which was here.
Yeah. So if you see...
That is wild.
You're saving quite a bit of butter and quite a bit of sugar. Each of these sugar cubes is 2 grams of sugar. And you've got 12 there, so that's 24 grams of sugar you can save per slice.
That is definitely something that we need to learn how to make. And we'll be doing that later on in Good Day, so you'll have to stick around. Now, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are known for the brown sugar, the marshmallows toasted on top. How can we save here?
Well, sweet potatoes are a great food to have because they're high in vitamin A, high in vitamin C, and they're full of an antioxidant called beta-carotene. So you want to have those at your
So those are really good. Just don't add all the other stuff.
Exactly. You want to try to make them as close to their natural form as possible. That's the trick. So with this here, I have on this side here, I have regular sweet potato casserole, which uses tons of brown sugar, tons of butter, and of course you top it with marshmallows or pecans or those other things. To avoid adding all that fat, a regular serving of sweet potato casserole has close to 400 calories.
Oh my goodness.
For a 2/3 cup serving. 12 grams of fat, 50 grams of carbs.
And is this a traditional kind of 2/3 cup serving?
That's a traditional size serving, yep. And if you go out to eat and get it at a place like Boston Market, it's even higher, or if you buy it store-bought. So to reduce the calories and the fat, you can make it at home, cut up your sweet potatoes, and add sugar-free or diabetic maple syrup, and just 1 tablespoon of butter, and you can save yourself 4 grams of fat per serving, 10 grams of sugar.
Wow. That's amazing. So get that diabetic sugar-free syrup.
Sugar-free maple syrup.
Wow.
That'll add that sweetness and that sugar that we like to have with sweet potato casserole, but it won't add any calories.
Okay, now lastly we have eggnog. And just switch it one simple, instead of buying regular, just buy light. That saves it there.
Exactly. A regular cup of eggnog has almost 400 calories, and that's without the alcohol.
Oh my goodness. Don't add any alcohol to this because you don't need it.
That's for a cup serving, and these are very small classes. It's 26 grams of fat and 50 grams of sugar in a cup of regular eggnog.
Buy light. That's one simple thing. Just grab it straight from the shelves. All right, well, we're going to hear more swapping tips on how you can make your holidays a little bit healthier when we come right back. Stay with us, everyone. Welcome back to Good Day, everyone. Now, we just told you how you can save calories by swapping out a few things, making a few substitutions on your holiday recipes. And now we're going to learn how to make the crustless pie, which is saving you 10 grams of fat per serving and lots of sugar that we'll be saving. So just a couple a couple items that we're going to be needing. How can we go ahead and make this, Sarah?
Well, first of all, you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And this is very easy to make, so while it's preheating, you can make the whole pie and stick it in there as soon as it's ready.
There we go.
Exactly, very easy. So you want to have a 9-inch diameter pie pan, and you want to make sure it's sprayed.
Okay, just a little Pam or something that we
Little
can throw
nonstick cooking spray,
okay,
yep.
Sounds good.
And you take 1 can, or basically 2 cups of pureed pumpkin.
And that's just something you can buy at the store.
Exactly, buy 1 can, and put that in a bowl.
All right.
And then you take non-fat evaporated milk. The big thing is it's a non-fat, fat-free.
Right. Otherwise, that would kind of defeat the whole purpose.
Exactly, yep. So add
just pour it all in together?
Exactly, yep.
No, I actually don't know how to make real pumpkin pie. I just kind of buy it at the store. You guys know, terrible cook. But I'm learning here, so this looks pretty simple.
It's very similar, but we're substituting some things. So I have 2/3 a cup of Splenda in here.
Okay, not normal sugar, but you can use
sugar-free,
whatever
0 calories
sugar substitute I guess you would like.
Yes, yep. And then egg beaters. Instead of using real eggs, you use the equivalent of 2 eggs, egg beaters. So these little cups are very convenient. It's just one of these little cups. Don't have to measure it out.
Now, what makes egg beaters so much healthier than a normal egg?
Well, they're cholesterol-free. That's the biggest thing. They're fat-free.
Now, was that different than just taking egg whites?
You could use egg whites, but these tend to taste a little bit better.
Okay.
You could also use egg whites.
Okay.
And then you take a teaspoon of vanilla.
So we still haven't put any regular sugar in here. We've only used the Splenda. But I bet this would give it lots more flavor too. The
vanilla, yeah.
The vanilla.
You won't use any regular sugar. That's how we make the 70 calories per slice.
Isn't that 70 calories per 1/8 of a slice of pie?
Per 1/8 of a pie, yep.
That's wild. Under 100 calories there.
And so you use a half a teaspoon of ground cloves. These spices are kind of what gives it the flavor, since you're not adding all that fat and sugar.
Now, do you put all this in regular pumpkin pie? Again, I've never made pumpkin pie before. So.
Yeah, usually you do. I mean, every recipe is different, but...
So again, pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same, yeah. And then you take a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Oh, you can smell it. That cinnamon smells really good.
And then a half a teaspoon of ground ginger.
Ooh.
You can also add a little bit of nutmeg if you want. If you like nutmeg, I don't like nutmeg, so I'm not going to add that.
So we'll leave it out of ours. All right, and then just kind of mix it all up together?
You mix it all up, exactly. This is basically the way you'd make a regular pumpkin pie. Even if you were to add the crust, you'd still be saving a lot of calories just from substituting the egg beaters and the Splenda.
Nobody likes the crust of pumpkin pie anyway. I know I always leave it on the plate.
I know my mom always called it the bone, and she'd always skip the bone.
And now, unlike I guess regular bread, the crust of the pie isn't the healthy part. So just go ahead and cut it off.
Exactly. Take the crust off of your pie. The crust is basically, you make it with lard, or you make it with Crisco, and there's so much fat in the crust.
Oh my goodness.
And this is...
So you just mix it all up.
Mix it all up. And
it's starting to look like pumpkin pie now.
Starting to look like pumpkin pie filling. And then you pour it into your 9-inch pan.
All right. Got to have it mix up a little bit more. But we're doing it all right here in front of you, live on TV. And you can see the oven is probably still heating up. I don't think it's gotten to 400 degrees yet.
Exactly. I know my oven takes about 10 minutes. So you pour it in.
All right. And again, we would have already,
sprayed
put Pam on this.
Yeah.
Again, light Pam, I'm assuming. So
well, I think most nonstick cooking sprays are 0 calories,
okay.
so anyone you want to use.
No need to worry about it.
Pour that in. Kind of smooth it out.
Still want it to look nice.
Exactly, yeah. And you stick it in your oven at 400 for the first 15 minutes, and then reduce your oven to 325 and cook it for 45 minutes or until a knife in the center comes out clean.
All right, so you don't want it to stick or anything like that. Exactly. And then we have... Oh, I got some on my arm here, but that's okay. Our beautiful crustless pie, 70 calories.
70 calories, exactly.
And how many grams of fat was it?
1 gram of fat per slice.
So cut this up into 1/8. And
You can afford to have two.
There you go. You can have seconds for this. All right, well, Sarah, we're going to have a little bit more from you. Once again, talking how we can save calories and grams of fat in our holiday meals. We'll be back with more Good Day after this. That's right, I'm here with Sarah Holmberg, who is a registered dietitian at Phoebe. We've been talking all morning about ways that you can swap in and out of your favorite holiday recipes to make them a little bit healthier. Sarah, now we are talking appetizers?
Yes.
All right, so we have some delicious peppers, and I'm not sure what else you've got here for us, but...
Well, this is an idea of a simple appetizer that you can offer at your holiday party that is low in calories, low in fat, and people can take as many as they want almost and not really have to worry about watching their calories.
Okay, so I see the bell peppers here, but is this, I'm assuming it's not cream cheese because that's not very healthy.
It is cream cheese, but it's fat-free cream cheese.
Okay.
And I've also mixed it with lemon pepper seasoning and a little bit of lemon juice to give that some flavor. And topped it with almonds. So you can have 3 of these, and it's only about 37 calories.
Wow.
So.
And I feel like this would be a great option to bring to a holiday party as well, just so you know that you can eat at least something healthy.
Exactly. If you're diabetic, that's one of the things you have to really watch. You have to make sure there's going to be something at that party that you can eat that's not going to cause your blood sugars to go through the roof. So this is a good thing to bring.
Okay. And again, holiday hosts, if you're having something, be mindful of your guests for those people who you invited. If they are diabetics, people who need to watch their diets and all that things. So you have some great other tips for us.
Exactly. If you're going to have diabetics at your party, you want to offer some healthy options. So, for example, vegetables and dip or fruit and yogurt, that's a good appetizer to put out, or serve it with the meal as well. If you are diabetic, the most important thing is you want to make sure you know what your blood sugars are. If you test more often than normal. The American Diabetes Association, you should have your blood sugars be between 70 and 130 before a meal. Okay. And 2 hours after a meal, it should be less than 180. So you want to make sure you're meeting those goals.
And those are important numbers to remember.
Exactly. If it's higher than that, you might be having a little bit too much holiday cheer.
All right. So again, these are important things for diabetics, but for people in general too, around the holidays especially.
Exactly. The average person gains anywhere from 5 to 12 pounds from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
Oh my goodness.
And we maintain half of that weight. Now, if you're already overweight, you gain in the upper edge of the range.
Wow.
So most people, the goal should be weight maintenance. You don't want to try to lose weight during the holidays because that can be unrealistic, but you should try to at least maintain your current weight. Okay,
giving us lots of tips. Any more for, people going out, going to parties, and lots of events going on in the holidays?
There's lots of things you can do. For example, you want to make sure you don't arrive on an empty stomach, because if you do, you tend to eat twice as much. So make sure you eat something small, so like an apple with cheese or something small before you go.
Okay.
And if they have hors d'oeuvres, put them on a napkin instead of a plate.
Really?
And you tend to take less because you got to hold that.
You got to hold all the napkin and make sure nothing falls out.
Exactly. So put your hors d'oeuvres on a napkin.
Okay. We got time for a couple more tips, I think. Just one more.
Slow down. That's the most important thing. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to recognize that you're full. So eat slow and put your fork down between bites, and that'll help you out a little bit. Just savor the food and your friends and being around family, and don't focus so much on the food.
Because that's what it's all about during the holidays. Well, thank you so much, Sarah Holmberg. We'll be back with our last hour of Good Day just after this.